Have you been wondering why people are pre-firing you every time you hold an angle?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
The angles you know about might be killing your gameplay and causing you to die an early death. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 best off angles on every map in the current pool. Before we get started, it's probably a smart idea to quickly go over what exactly an off angle is, and how they're different from normal, on, or common angles. Common angles are essentially any angle that you fight from the most often across the map. Typically, it's an angle where you take first contact around a corner or an object. For example, when you fight on top of mid ascent to bottom arches, the angle you peek to fight from either side is a common angle. Any 50-50 angle would be considered a common angle, that being an angle where there is a 50-50 chance of an enemy being to your left or right, like going out of A main on Ascent. But angles around cover are on angles too. When you swing out of A main, you probably expect enemies to be playing either somewhere around the sight box, generator, or either the top right or left have an angle. And that's kind of the idea of an on angle. They're good in the sense that they're probably hard to clear or at least offer some kind of cover, but they're also quite predictable. An off angle, on the other hand, is an angle that is slightly away from a common angle you would normally take. For example, instead of playing in the 50-50 corners on A near Ascent, you would play slightly next to the corner so you get first contact on enemies pre-aiming the common angles. You can also consider these angles a form of escape angle since it fits duelists with an escape tool like Reyna or Jett extremely well. Of course, if you're an agent without escape tools, you can still play them, and you definitely should in many situations. But it's important to know it's a little bit more risky. If you get flashed, stunned, and dashed on, you're probably dead even on a common angle. But that's especially gonna ring true if you're out in the open. So be mindful about the angles you take. The more off you're an angle, the riskier it is. And mentally try to track utility, so that way you can abuse the strongest angles, especially when enemies have the least amount of tools to deal with it.
Kind of my motto is nowadays that if you want to get the job done, you get it done yourself. All the losses and all the experiences I've learned along the way have made me the person I am today. And I know that if you work hard and you work efficiently, then you will be rewarded with wins. I hope over the course of these lessons, you'll be able to take some valuable information away, and hopefully all of these will help you to become a better player, a better teammate, or leader. Any other ways that a brain can help you to get kills? I got you.
Now let's move on to the map, starting with Ascent. The first angle we wanted to mention is the jump up area near Heaven on A site. The reason this angle is so powerful is because both attackers and defenders can use this angle when holding down the fort. When you crouch on the first step, you can take an off angle above dice into A main or on A door for anyone entering or retaking the site. On the other end of this, you can get a KO flash or Omen blind to Heaven to fight retakers before they know what hit them. Now with this angle, do not play on the boxes in Pizza. That is a 50-50 angle. Instead, put your characters back to the wall with a line of sight into the right mid archway while keeping your character in the pizza area. This angle is key for defending Jett oppers who want to hide from dart without using utility. And it's a great way for getting the jump on any contact plays to market. The tree room is our next stop in the off angle train, with the jumpable area being great for oppers or phantom users fighting the A site split into sight. Be warned though, it's very easy to fall off the aggressive peak of this, so don't feel bad if you put your back against the wall to try and shoot them when they are deeper into tree room. Bind's recent rework has introduced some new angles into the map, with the first one being the interesting change to holding short. If you use a Sage Wall, Chamber TP setup, or a good old Jett dash, this angle allows you to see the short execute in a whole new and unexpected way. This next one is due to the change to triple. Riot has now made the ultimate post-plan angle to hold the spawn push. Sitting on bench gives you an insane headshot angle into the spawn walk-in or the hookah walk-in, giving you an advantage over defenders trying to retake. Be warned, since triple is now fully wall-bangable, they can still try and shoot your body through the box when holding this new powerful angle. B site hasn't seen much change, but it doesn't mean an old dog can't learn new tricks. If you crouch jump onto the box outside of the hookah window, you can sit right on the edge of this box for a cheeky crouch angle attackers may not expect. It also allows you to stay safe from utility dump that is hookah. So make sure to press D after the first kill you get from this sick angle. With Fracture being such a vertically diverse map, the angles that have become stronger play with the verticality and the designs of the rope areas. Speaking of the ropes, both the attacker spawn areas have the best lurk areas and off angles. The reason being is that you can play an off angle around the rope on either side, and either go for a kill when defenders push your area or escape via the ropes to the other side where your team should be stacked. The generator angle on B is easily the most powerful angle you can choose as a defender. You get the best angle to hold arcade passively, and you can help your site player if they rush up to B main. You can drop down safely after a kill or whiff, and operating on this angle makes it a million times more deadly. Not really, but you get the point. Gray box on A is easily the most underrated angle on A site. This is all for a reason, since it can easily be crunched from multiple paths. However, if you have the right setup with multiple teammates, you can be an absolute demon in this angle since you can fight all three of the entrances while dropping somewhat safely into sands. Keep in mind, if you do not have the support for this angle, you will be punished for it. For Haven, a lot of these angles favor the operator, but it doesn't mean you can't pull up with a rifle and have impact. Starting with A short, the best off angle on the A side of the map is the box you can jump up to. Usually you want utility to support you getting here like a deep smoke A lobby in combination with zoning utility like Raise Nade, Sova Dart, or a Breach Stun. And after you are set up in this powerhouse of a position, you can solo hold an entire side of the map until you make first contact. Now for B site. We were tempted to say that you could go for the back gong angle on either top or the lower backside area, but we chose the cubby in front of B instead. The reason being is any character with an escape card can be deposited here and get an insane amount of information or an easy kill if they are set up there with early utility or contact to the cubby area. From there, you can hold an off angle from the drop to front B or play the 50-50 for some cheeky kills. The back platform area on C site is the best area for off angle since you have the best chances of getting isolated 1v1s when anchoring C. Sure, top default is a great angle for an operator, but we have to give some love to the other agents who are hunkering down the site without a dash. Even in professional matches, this area can be outright forgotten about when executing C site or at the very least heavily contested by the site anchor. With Lotus being the newest map in the map pool, many people are still learning what is and isn't great about all three of the site areas. That doesn't mean there aren't some clear winners, like Mound on C long. Mound has become infamous for being the ideal post-plant position for attackers and the best defender position for contesting C orb. Any way you play it, this is the spot for fighting for C. Now I'm not saying that fighting for A is boring, but man do people not know how to fight for A control. What I mean by that is when players fight around A rubble, too many players try and use it more for cover rather than exploiting the off angle it has right on top of it. If you are an attacker or a defender, getting on top of rubble will give you a significant edge over your opponent since it's such an aggressive off angle players won't expect. I'm warning you though, this will be the hardest off angle to fight for since the A side of the map is easily the most contested on Lotus. The pit on B site Lotus may seem like an ideal plant position, but did you know it's also a great defending position? Playing this angle with some utility to back you up may net you some easy multi-kills since it's such a small headshot angle for you to shoot out of. The next time you're thinking of fighting B, try out playing in pit for a change. If you want to get free kills across Pearl, say no more. When you are anchoring A site, there are two off angles you can play in one spot which we say are both equally good. You can either go on the top half wall near secret and play aggro from there, although you will be exposed to an art push, or you can play that angle as a headshot angle into A main. When you are playing Killjoy or rotating to help art or connector and all of a sudden your team is dead, staying on the sewers angle allows you to swap in an unexpected way to holding either art to connector or B link to connector. This is also a great off angle to back up from an initial art or a mid doors peek as a duelist. Over on the B site, while most people's first instinct might be to directly hold long or top screens at the start, then fall back to site or heaven after firing a shot, we'd actually recommend going for a slightly different approach. By standing on top of this orange box, you get a higher angle that people often forget to clear. This allows you to catch enemies by surprise, but also means you can hold any attackers crossing much more easily. Be careful though, off angles are good because they're surprising, and if you end up playing here every round, you might find yourself getting countered by a double updrafting jet with knives all the way over from shops. Split as a map has gotten some insane reworks that have changed the flow of the map to be more even than it was before, which also in turn makes the angles you take slightly different to contest space. For B site, we chose Hell, and more specifically, the new area sliced out to make a right angle. This area allows you to contest not only B main, but also B heaven better than anywhere else, since Raptors is a very common angle to play on defense. Hell also is harder to clear with utility, especially when you have an escape card agent playing there. The right side vent on defense is arguably one of the best close and far range angles you can take, depending on what the enemy's tendencies are. For example, if enemies like to push into vents or mail, you can punish them with the judge from this angle given the correct supportive utility like a smoke close or a sage wall. On the other hand, it is also great if they have lurks and you want to hold mid with an operator from an interesting location. Lastly, the final off angle of the day goes to the right side ramp on A. The reason being is that you can hold the entirety of A with great information with a rifle or an operator just by sitting in this unexpected location. Especially if attackers ignore ramp often, this can be a free kill for you round after round. And that's going to be the 3 off angles you need to know for each map. Comment your favorite angle below and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this one. Thank you all for watching and we will see you all in the next one.